Welcome back to Clark's Ring Rants. Let's get straight into today's video. So, coming up this weekend, we've got Oleksandr Usyk taking on Rico Verhoeven in his obligatory heavyweight gimmick fight. It will be taking place at the Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Let's talk about it. Just before we go any further, if you could do me a massive favour, leave a like on this video and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, we're so close to hitting 100 subscribers. Your support is appreciated. Thank you. Back into the video. So he's back, Oleksandr Usyk, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. This is his first fight since July of last year, when he knocked out Daniel Dubois in their rematch at Wembley Stadium in 5 pretty one-sided rounds. It's been rumoured what he's going to do since then. Was he going to retire? Was he going to take on Fabio Wardley? Was he going to dare to rematch Tyson Fury? No one really knew, and then it sort of died down for a little bit, and then the start of this year, we get the news out of nowhere. He's going to be taking on Rico Verhoeven. Myself, like many of yous, I'd never, ever heard of this guy. I don't know any kickboxers. The only kickboxers I could name, I'm not even going to name them because the video will probably get deleted. But yeah, I'm not familiar with kickboxers. I don't really watch much UFC either, but I at least know who the main fighters are. You know, like your Ngannou's, Strickland, you know, people like that. Whereas my man Verhoeven, I've got no idea who he is. I would not recognise him from Adam. Anyway, inexplicably, he gets this shot at Oleksandr Usyk. From what I understand, the WBC belt is going to be on the line. The IBF and the WBA have approved it, but those belts are not going to be on the line. They've sort of given Usyk an exemption to just go and have this joke gimmick fight because, let's call a spade a spade. This is what it is. It's an easy cash grab for both men. And then hopefully afterwards, Usyk will resume his career. But I just wanted to touch on the fight itself and the circumstances. I'll leave my prediction and my breakdown out. I'll do that in a separate video. But here, I just wanted to talk about the fight itself and how it came to be. So, Rico Verhoeven, he was rumoured to be in the running to fight Anthony Joshua in February of this year. But obviously, AJ had the car crash. He got pushed back for his comeback. He's going to be fighting in July. We all know that. And then next thing you know, the phone goes, Team Usyk, they call up Verhoeven, do you want the shot? He's like, hell yeah. And next thing you know, we've got the fight announced for the Pyramids of Giza. We've had these crossover, you know, jokey, gimmicky fights before. We've had Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. That was the first one. That was the flagship one. Then we've had AJ taking on Ngannou. We've had Fury taking on Ngannou. Could you call AJ versus Jake Paul a crossover gimmick kind of fight? I guess you can. So we've had a few fights of this nature now, but this one, there doesn't seem to be as much buzz or intrigue or as much of a circus around it. No one seems to care as much, whether that's right or wrong. In his own field, he should be respected. Rico Verhoeven is a world champion kickboxer from what I can gather in my research. He's been a dominant champion, you know, for like the last 10 years or so, sort of Klitschko-esque. So he's obviously good, he's obviously got some talent, but kickboxing, it doesn't seem to transcend the mainstream as much as, you know, a sport like UFC does. So the gist of what I'm trying to say is, we all knew who Conor McGregor was. Conor McGregor, like one of the most famous sports stars, athletes in the world at the time, when he fought Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's Floyd Mayweather. He needs no introduction. And then you got guys like Ngannou. Listen, I don't watch UFC. I don't really care much for it, but I knew who Ngannou was when he crossed over to fight Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And even Fury, Joshua, to a greater extent Mayweather, they're all global superstars. They were household names, you know, so everyone knew what they were getting, and there was a bit of intrigue there. How's the fight going to go? What's it going to look like? But with the exception of Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, where he was put on his backside, all of these fights have been one-way traffic. They've all been pretty lopsided, and they've gone on as long as the boxers allowed it to go on. You know, Floyd Mayweather, he just plodded forward against McGregor. He was never in any real danger. As soon as Floyd decided to go through the gears in that one, he got McGregor out of there sharpish and he was stopped on his feet. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou, he didn't come to mess about in that fight. He didn't take any risks, cleaned him out in a few rounds. Jake Paul just legged it around the ring against Anthony Joshua. It went on a bit longer than it should have, but when Jake Paul got tired of running, Anthony Joshua caught up to him and knocked him out. The only exception was Tyson Fury. He come into that fight, he didn't train at all. He underestimated Francis Ngannou. And I don't think Fury could have been any worse. He got decked and he managed to scrape through that fight. But other than that, they're pretty much one-way traffic, these fights. And I don't really see this one being any different. This fight goes as long as Oleksandr Usyk wants it to go. If Usyk wants to give us a bit of a spectacle, maybe he can carry him for a few rounds, soften him up and then knock him out late, or Usyk might not come in there to play games. He might just see this as business, takes Verhoeven's head off in a few rounds and he just rolls on to the next one. But either way, there's not that much interest for this one. I don't really care for it. Maybe that's just my ignorance. Maybe it's because I'm not familiar with Rico and his body of work, but it just doesn't seem to be as big an event as when Fury fought Ngannou, when Mayweather fought McGregor, when Joshua fought Ngannou. Those seemed like bigger, more significant events to me. This just seems to me like Usyk's getting his turn, he's getting his shot at a gimmick fight, an easy payday, and he's going to take it. I never thought we'd be here with Usyk, taking a joke fight like this. I can't believe the WBC have sanctioned it. But hey-oh, it's boxing. It's the Wild West. Here we are. These kind of things happen. But yeah, just a quick video touching on the fight. There doesn't seem to be much hype around it. I can't believe it's actually happening. But hey, here we are. Oleksandr Usyk will take on Rico Verhoeven at the Pyramids of Giza. My prediction video, that'll be dropping tomorrow. I'll preview the fight a bit more. I've watched a bit of Rico Verhoeven, so I'm just going to give an educated prediction based off of that. And yeah, I'll touch on the undercard as well, because I think there's actually some decent little scraps on the undercard, and we'll go from there. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment your thoughts. What do you think of this fight? Do you really care much? And subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.